Welcome, grade 8 students. This is Mr. JB, and I will be teaching you our literary selection this week. The title of our selection is How Gandhi Changed the World. So I hope that you have your materials with you, your student anthology, your copybook, and a pen. And I want you to turn your book on page 346 as we start. Our learning objectives are pretty simple. First, cite evidences of Gandhi's peaceful protests, and then second is review the important elements of the biography. Before I start off with my lesson, I want to give you this question. Have you ever had a heated conversation with someone? Well, having a heated conversation or an argument is pretty normal. It is because we come from different backgrounds and we have different upbringing and different perspective towards life. That's why we have this indifference. But in the past, because of their indifferences were not managed properly and were not talked about in a manner that they will understand each other, it led to a lot of worst case scenarios. So what we're going to talk about now is how Mohandas Gandhi, or also known as Mahatma Gandhi, had used his presence of mind and his patience and determination in facing this adversity. Let me give you some background about how Gandhi changed the world. If you turn your books on page 346, you will be seeing the background right there. But I want to give you some heads up about how long, complicated, and contentious the history between Great Britain and India. It was said before that British arrived in India in 1700s to trade. It was not a united country that time, but was made up of many individual states. So the British made treaties and other agreements with the individual rulers. A rebellion against the British began in 1857 and lasted about 18 months. When it was over, the British government ruled more than 300 million Indians. Many British and some Indians benefited from the British rule, but many more remained impoverished. The Indian National Congress was formed in 1885 to seek independence for India, and Mohandas Gandhi eventually became the organization's leader. Let us now move on to the literary selection How Gandhi Changed the World by Heather Whips. As you turn your book on page 347, you will be seeing the first part of it. And as you read the biography, you will notice that it is divided into four sections: the introduction, the urges Britain to quit India, the description about Salt March, and how Gandhi inspired the civil rights. As you read, I want you to get or highlight one sentence or two that will sum up the sections of the biography. Then answer the diagram that I'll show you after the slide. Let us answer this following diagram by knowing what are the highlights of the literary selection. In the introduction, Gandhi proved that one man has the power to take on an empire using both ethics and intelligence. On the reason as to why Britain quit India, it is because when Indians boycott the British goods and traditions and became self-reliant. We also know that Salt March has become the image of Mohandas Gandhi because it is the most famous protest that triggered wider civil disobedience and led to Indian independence. And at the last part of the biography, we know that Mohandas Gandhi's influence is across the globe. Martin Luther King Jr. was influenced greatly by Gandhi's philosophy of non-violence. Unfortunately, during that time, Mohandas Gandhi was killed in an assassination in 1948 while walking to his evening prayer meeting. Today, Indians and anti-war protesters and even authors for many interesting quotes celebrate Gandhi as a preeminent figure. Not 20 years after his death, Gandhi also had a direct impact on the history of the United States. In summary, Mahatma Gandhi became the symbol of peaceful protest and independence in India. And we learned that problems are solved through promoting peace and understanding and not through violence. I hope that you learned something today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and like this video if you do learn a lot. See you on the next video. Bye.